Right, let's talk about leisure centres. England heading towards lockdown 2, and there is huge debate around whether people should be allowed to do sport. Leisure centres will be closed from Thursday in England, as they are in Wales. They are open in Scotland under the current level 3 restrictions there, but they would close if any area was put into level 4 in Scotland. What about the impact on our physical and mental health, and also on the financial future of many of these centres? Mark Sesnan is Chief Executive of Greenwich Leisure Limited, run over 300 leisure centres and libraries. And I think you sit on the board of UK Active as well, which represents commercial fitness gyms and community leisure centres. So you've got your eye across all of this stuff, Mark. How are you feeling this morning?
Well, devastated, disappointed, and a big sense of déjà vu. Here we go again. What do we have to do to prove to people that the fabric of the community needs to be protected, particularly at these very trying times?
Did you have any opportunity to actually present your case to the government, to decision makers?
Well, unfortunately, no. There's been no consultation on this, and this comes on the back of the fact that gyms and pools, etc., were the last thing to be allowed to reopen in the summer. So we were all exhausted by that. We've just about got our businesses back up and running. We've got people in. This isn't just about the gym. This is about the swimming pool. This is about health-wise schemes, doctors' referrals, cardiac rehabilitation. Generally, it's the community leisure centres, the gym on the high street. Everybody now is taking a very big body blow on this, and it is difficult to see how we're going to recover again, certainly before January, whatever happens.
I want to talk about the future, but I think you also have to look at the facts, don't you, around rising infection levels. And I know every service industry that we speak to says we have a COVID-secure environment, but increasingly the understanding of this virus seems to suggest that it really thrives in warm, enclosed spaces. It's not necessarily touch points that are the big transmitters, but it's people sharing that same air. And it's very hard to avoid that, isn't it, in a gym?
Well, that's kind of old thinking, because since the restart, people are only allowed to actually be on their own. The numbers have been reduced to a third to a half of what used to be. These are big spaces with all the air handling equipment's been turned up to maximum. But in swimming pools, for instance, how can actually the chlorine kills the virus? And, the environment now it's about being on your own. It's not like a pub or a restaurant. You can only turn up on your own. You have to pre-book. You have to come in, do your stuff and get out. And that's been working very safely, we believe. We monitor the statistics. Nobody's suggesting that these are COVID hotspots, quite the opposite. But we are where we are. And so, to be fair to the government, they're bringing back the proper furlough scheme. That is required. And the whole industry will obviously obey the law. We will close for the 4 weeks. We just hope that we can get out the other side of this now, and that people begin to realise that actually their physical, mental well-being is hugely important, particularly if we go into a dark, cold, miserable winter. And leisure centres, gyms, pools, etc., are the lifeblood of the nation for that kind of.
No, for some people, they are an absolute lifeline. And not being able to go along and to do that exercise is almost like not being able to breathe. They are that important, I know, to some people.
Absolutely. Yeah, and in fact, so the other thing is that during the summer, everybody thought it was great, wasn't it? Out on the bikes, going jogging, taking the kids down the park and everything. But we can't do that in the cities in the winter. So people are going to be stuck in these tower blocks, completely going stir crazy. And I think that, yes, we need huge restrictions on people's movement, socialisation. We need to be absolutely adult about the way the virus is moving through the community and do our best to try and avoid the spread. But we just can't stop life. We've got to keep living.
Well, I know a lot of people will be cheering you this morning when they hear those words. Thank you very much, Mark. Mark Sesnan, who is Chief Executive of Greenwich Leisure Limited.